Friends, here we are going to learn about beginning of culture in an organization under the chapter Organizational Culture. The founders of an organization influence the culture in the organization with their personal traits and values. If we put simply, the founders of the organization lay the foundation for a particular culture in the organization. But once a culture has been adopted by the employees of the organization, it is difficult to bring in changes or modify it. Some of the factors which have an influence on maintaining the organizational culture are selection. If the selection procedure of employees include an evaluation of the adaptability of the candidate to the culture of the organization along with technical and professional evaluation, it would help the organization to select appropriate candidates who can more easily adopt the organizational cultures. A strong organizational culture can be maintained when the new employees believe the values of the founders of the organization and adopt the culture existing in the organization. Number two is top management. The top management of an organization influence the culture in the organization to a great extent. Usually, the ideas and behavior of the top level management seep down throughout the organization. Thus, the top management influence the employees with regard to adapting to the values of the organization. Number three is socialization. The selection procedure in an organization cannot ensure getting an employee who perfectly fits the organization. However, the new employees can be guided to adopt the culture of the organization through the socialization process. Socialization is the formal procedure through which new employees to the organization are educated about the organizational culture and encouraged to internalize the values and ideologies of the organization. Socialization is a three-stage process. The three stages are pre-arrival stage in socialization. In this stage, employees are introduced to the norms, values, and procedures accepted in the organization. Each employee is treated as an individual who is distinct and with individually different principles and values. Encounter stage in socialization. This is a critical stage of socialization. In this stage, employees get to know about the reality of the workplace. If it coincides with the expectation of the employee, socialization can be effective. On the contrary, if the employee's expectations do not match those of the organization, then it will have an adverse impact on the productivity of both the employees as well as the organization. The third one is metamorphosis stage in socialization. This is the stage of socialization when employees mold their behavior according to the organizational expectations. A feeling of belonging develops and the employee is less likely to leave the organization. Learning culture. The culture of an organization can be learned in different ways. Some ways of learning a culture is through stories, rituals, and ceremonies, material symbols, and language. Stories. Stories relating to the behavior of employee in an organization help the new employee to easily analyze the expectation of the organization and its culture. Stories convey the ideologies of the organization's founders, the past experience of employees in the organization, and what kind of behavior is considered acceptable in the organization. Rituals and ceremonies. Rituals are activities that are repeated on particular occasions to help reinforce the core values and key objectives of the organization. The ceremonies in organization mainly concentrate on appreciating exceptional performance, understanding the rituals and ceremonies in the organization and their analysis helps in learning the culture of the organization. Material symbols. Material symbols or rewards in an organization help in understanding the culture of the organization in recognizing employees at various levels of the organization. The culture of some organizations encourages equality among employees while others give importance to the status of employees in different positions in the organization. Language. Employees in an organization may use particular technical terminology or acronyms or jargon which are accepted by a majority while communicating with each other. Learning the common language of the organization helps a new employee to adapt to the organizational culture. Changing organizational culture. Usually, change in organizational culture may be initiated by a change in the external environment or a change at the top management level. In order to have a competitive edge, changes in the external environment should be anticipated in advance by organizations. The process of change in organizational culture is complex, as the habits and set attitudes of employees cannot be changed so easily. The change process. While changing organizational culture, the change process should be quick enough not to allow the employees to go back to their old patterns. A well planned change process helps in avoiding uncertainty among employees. Some of the important things to be considered while implementing the change process are: assess existing culture. The existing culture in an organization should be assessed accurately, and an analysis of the need for change should be done before bringing in change. Change agent. It is always advisable to take the expert advice of an experienced external change agent who guides the organization along the path of change. An external change agent can help in framing right change strategies by interacting with employees of the organization. Introduce alternatives. If the change agent explains clearly to the employees about different alternatives for the existing practices in the organization and takes them into confidence, then the change process can be implemented effectively. Define a new paradigm. The change agent could define a new paradigm or model for organizational change and make employees aware about the need for change. This will help in reducing the anxiety of employees about the change in organizational culture. Change must be top down. The change in organizational culture will be more effective if it is initiated by the top level management of the organization. Employee participation. Encouraging employee participation in the change process will ensure that the decisions taken as part of the change process are accepted by the employees of the organization. Shed old paradigm. The change agent should encourage the employees to adopt new procedures by leaving behind the old paradigm. Quick transition. The transition in organizational culture should be accompanied by a quick decision making process to bring about appropriate change.